Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Feast with Me, where we're all about bringing good food, good wine, and great conversation to our home. Today I have, I think, probably my most makulit guest, no? I think you guys know him, familiar face, James Deakin. Hi,
What's up,
James.
guys? Hi, Steph.
I
And
saw
thank
you
you for
making.
inviting me.
Yeah, of
You
course.
should have told me that this is the same color combo as the maintenance crew of your building.
That's okay. At least you're blending in. So today we'll be cooking a risotto as per James' request.
You know, it seems like a very simple dish,
Mm-hmm.
but I've traveled to enough countries to know that you can get it really wrong.
Oh, definitely.
So to learn how to do a simple dish well, I think there's a lot of value in that.
So it's really all about the right technique, okay? The right technique in choosing the best ingredients possible. We'll be making a zucchini and lemon risotto. Okay, so we're gonna start with some zucchini, onion, okay? Then we have our lemon, parmesan, and super important to risotto is to have the right rice, okay? You guys can't just use any old rice. And this is a very short, round rice called arborio rice, okay? And then I'm gonna add a little bit of saffron.
For
Okay.
color and
For color and flavor. And just smell it. Even if it's closed, you can
I
smell
read
it.
something about saffron being like either the most treasured
It
spice or
is
something like that.
one of the most expensive
Yeah.
commodities in the world because the filaments from the flowers, that's basically, you know, when the flowers have those filaments, that's what saffron is, and they have to be hand-picked. So it's very difficult to make. And we're gonna do a bouillon. So you can do like a broth or stock with just a regular bouillon cube, or you can make your own, but why bother? No?
Okay.
Yeah, it's hard. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring some of this water to boil. Okay, so I want you to slice our zucchini. Do you cook a lot at home?
I don't, I'll be honest, but here's a little secret you might not know about me is I did start off as a cook in a restaurant
Really?
in Australia. Yeah, that was one of my first jobs. Actually, my first job was dishwasher.
Okay.
And then I did that for as long as, you know, the Human Rights Foundation allowed me to do it. It's really hard work. It's
How
not
old
easy.
were you?
I was 14.
All right, so while you're finishing chopping that, I think we're gonna put in about half a bouillon cube to our water.
How did I do?
That's perfect.
Can I show this off?
Yes,
Look at
you can
how
show it
uniform
off.
that is.
Really
So
quick.
you're mixing the stock cube in that water right
Yes,
now, right?
and I'm going to add the saffron. So, guys, one of the biggest mistakes people do with saffron is they just throw it in there, but you actually have to bloom saffron. Okay? And just let that. Once it starts to boil, turn it off and remove it from the heat. So, we're gonna take some olive oil and take the onions. So we've minced them. Okay,
Cook them well.
and then.
Nice sliced zucchini.
So we're gonna throw that in there. And with risotto, you don't want anything to burn, guys. So you really just have to keep on stirring that stuff,
Smelling good already.
right? I'm gonna season with a little bit of salt.
Is that the Himalayan?
Yes, Himalayan pink salt. Just a little black pepper, although we should be using white pepper. Okay, so I've actually softened and cooked all that zucchini without burning it because I kept stirring it, okay? And now we're gonna add our risotto rice, okay? So our arborio rice. You're gonna wanna stir this and what we call nacré ou perlé or translucent. So you want the rice to absorb a little bit of that oil and get beautiful and golden and pearly. Okay. At this point, shake it up and we're gonna add some white wine. This is about, yeah. And here's where things get tricky, okay? So why I say risotto is like a complicated girlfriend is you really cannot leave it. You have to keep stirring and stirring and stirring.
What kind of girlfriends you had? But I don't never stirred my girlfriends. I'm just saying.
Well, pay attention. Attention. Needs
I get it,
attention
I
and
get it.
love, okay?
I get it.
So you
I can relate when you talk to like supercar from like the 80s.
Okay.
Stuff which demanded your 100% attention.
So-
Or hit.
So I turned down the heat a little bit. Okay, so now I would say it's medium heat. So once the wine starts drying out, before it's completely dried out, you're going to want to scoop some of the broth. So I'm gonna give you guys a trick. we're not measuring here. What we're doing is at each time we're scooping just enough to cover. You just keep stirring and bring that to a boil, and slowly the rice will absorb it. Okay, you want to do some stirring?
Yeah, so you can always tell like the best risotto chefs in the world are usually the ones with one big arm.
Yeah.
Now, is there a proper way to stir? Because I mean, I stir a lot, but mostly on social media. But like when you're doing stirring actual food like this, you go clockwise, counter. Doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter.
Speed.
So again, like a complicated girlfriend, gentle, gentle. We don't want to mush the rice, you know. Also, another tip, try to use the most heavy bottom pot that you guys have. Okay, so biggest pet peeve is in the Philippines. They want the risotto to be well done, mushy. You guys notice we didn't put any cream.
I've noticed so far, no cream, no parmesan,
and
no...
it's creamy already. That's starch of the rice and the broth. All right, so while we're waiting for this little lady to be ready, I am gonna put you...
lady.
Yeah.
We've given her a personality. We've given her a stigma. Did you say mistress, or what would you say? A difficult girlfriend,
Well,
sorry.
no one mistress.
I just had this stigma in my head for this poor risotto.
Okay, so we're gonna roll out maybe 2 lemons, and I want you to juice them.
Okay.
And this is gonna be for our drink. We're gonna pair it with like a nice lemon basil squash. We can't wait. When it's ready, it's ready.
There's a reason for that. There was
It's almost ready. Texture.
Yeah, almost there.
I haven't even added salt or a little pepper, and there's a reason why. It's because
It's delicate.
we're gonna add our Parmesan cheese, and before we add the Parmesan cheese, it'll be too salty.
And now, does the Parmesan give it, aside from flavor, of course, does it give it any texture?
Of course, it
change?
turns it creamy.
That's what makes it creamier, right?
Yes. Okay.
The difference of that
Just
Parmesan,
a couple of seconds, right?
yeah, but also the flavor when the Parmesan kicked in.
Oh, this is fine.
Yeah, just a little bit of lemon to just...
Yeah, this is fine. Okay, I'm gonna shut this off. Okay, this is perfect. I'm gonna move it out of the heat because if not, it's gonna get too cooked. And we're gonna squeeze a little bit of lemon juice. And we're gonna zest the lemon. Okay, that's why this grater is perfect, because it makes this really fine zest, especially for lemon, for any kind of citrus fruit. So this is the texture you want for your risotto. It's not quite soupy, it's not quite dry. And we're gonna have a little bit of just some basil. Your pinky's like sticking out here.
I'm starting to... My foot's like my dog. It's going like that. You know when you scratch your dog here? That's how I feel with this risotto. There's the flavor, which is really already should be the #1 reason, but the texture of the food, plus of course the weather outside being so cold and rainy.
It's a plate of sunshine.
It is, and all the flavors. There's none of it's competing with each other. So you can taste a bit of the wine. You can taste a bit of the stock. Can't taste the zucchini, I'll be honest. But you taste the zing of the lemon in the end. The sea salt just rounds it off. So nothing's competing, nothing's dominating. And then you've got that beautiful texture that you're not quite sure, like you said before, whether it's a soup dish, whether it's creamy,
yes.
whether it's a rice dish.
So risotto is really in between, right? You really need to have that texture where it kind of oozes out, right? On the side. Oh my gosh, okay. It's a good thing I have a whole pot here. It kind of oozes out on the side, but it's not soup running all over your plate, but it's not a dry clump either. And that is the texture you're looking for. And this is why you guys need to go slowly with the broth, okay? Ladle it in one by one, because then it will just turn into one big arroz caldo. So, if you're willing to put that down for a little bit.
No, I'm not, but for the sake of being a compliant guest, I will.
We're gonna make our drink. So we are making a lemon, kind of like spritzer slush type of thing, okay? We're gonna pour this lemon juice in here. I'm gonna add some basil and some sugar, right? About maybe 2 teaspoons. And some ice. Okay, so that's just pretty much it. It's really like a lemonade with some basil, slushy, and sparkling water. Cheers! Thanks for being my assistant.
Very good.
Okay. What have you been busy with?
Work has been like crazy. We've been doing we just filmed the episode, a whole season of Drive.
You're almost never home. Like,
Yeah.
sometimes I like message you on Instagram, like, leaving again?
I know.
God,
You
you're
know
always
how
never home.
A lot
Yeah.
of people, they tend to use like Instagram for when they travel. My highlights are when I'm home. Look, I'm home. Woohoo! Something normal and stable.
Yeah.
Because it's like that. But thankfully, I've been able to. The last trip I took was with the family.
That's great when
It
you can
is.
mix both.
It
Yeah.
is. You know, and I'm so grateful that my job sometimes allows me to do that.
Okay, we're gonna wrap things up with a couple of quick fire questions. So whatever comes on the top of your head, can be food, doesn't have to be food. What did you have for breakfast?
I don't eat breakfast.
Okay.
I do intermittent fasting, so I do 16 hours a day fasting, 8 hours of eating. So always skip.
So hence 16 hours of fasting,
So
and
this is my
then
first
I
meal.
know, and then like 3 bowls of risotto. One cuisine you love.
Filipino, actually.
Is there an ingredient that you hate?
Green and red peppers, those capsicums, they call them in some places, peppers here. Not a fan.
If you had your last meal on earth, what would it be?
Probably an In-N-Out burger.
Guilty pleasure.
Ice cream.
Super stressful day. Nothing went right. Everything went wrong. You were stuck in traffic for like 3 hours, and the first thing I want when I get home is...
I'd love to just plop in my chair and just get online and just like watch something very de-stressful.
Cheers!
Cheers.